Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Maureen, and don't think that I forgot about this series. I did not forget about this series. I have just been under the weather, but not in the way that you think. I actually had my wisdom teeth extracted, 3 of them to be exact, and I was down. And if you've ever had your wisdom teeth extracted, then you know what down is. I really didn't feel like doing a lot of talking. I didn't feel like being on camera or anything like that outside of work and outside of other deadlines and duties that I had. And so I'm a little late, but on time for some of these videos. So if you see a burst of videos from me, it's because I have a burst of energy. My mouth is healed for the most part, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to jump back into my rhythm and stuff like that. So I'm coming back to you with 5 days of me-made outfits. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I know it's been more than 5 days since I made one of these videos, but you know, there are days that I wear ready to wear. There were days that I forgot to film. I missed about 2 or 3 days where I forgot to film. It wasn't that bad. But yeah, I've got 5 outfits that I have worn in the last 2 weeks that I absolutely adore. So let's get into it. Okay, so I have my list here and I'm going to be going one by one. So the first thing is McCall's 8561. This is a caftan that I wore to brunch with one of my good friends out here. And I love this caftan down. I actually made it for a sew along. So there is a sew along for this caftan. And this fabric is from a mystery box that I got from Mood Fabrics, but they actually sell this fabric on their website, which a lot of you told me that when I got the mystery box and showed it to all of you. So while I don't quite know the style number for the fabric, I know that it is still available over at moodfabrics.com if you want to purchase it. So again, this is McCall's 8561. It's this gorgeous caftan. I did get quite a few compliments on it when we were at brunch, and then we saw some other mutual friends when we were there as well. We ran into a few people that we knew, and they were like, I love your caftan. I know you made it. Like, y'all know. But so that was really exciting. It's always wonderful to have that reception going on. And so while I realize it's a little short for work, it was perfect for brunch, and it's kind of like that darker green, so really great for transitional pieces for summer, if you will, like a nice late summer caftan. Now granted, brunch was great, and this was a brunch I went to before I had my wisdom teeth pulled, so I was eating good in the neighborhood before that. Okay. Next up was Simplicity Pattern 9929. I wore this lounge set to work as is, as you see it in the video. Now, this was a day, I want to say I was trying to meet a deadline for either Know Me or a sew along or something. And so I probably was up late the night before, and I just said, you know what, I want to wear something comfortable, something that I can kind of just be loungy in all day. And it worked out really well. I did get a few questions on if this was a jumpsuit, and you know, I told everyone like, no, this is a 2-piece, but they loved it down. This pattern does have a sew along with it because it is a Mimi G pattern. So if you are interested in learning how to sew this, this is actually a pretty easy pattern to do, and I just love it. I really do. I love the cowl neck, and I've actually worn the cowl neck top with like a pair of trousers before, and it works just the same. But I always wear the pants with that top. But anyway, I love this outfit, and it's great for lounging. It's great for work. It's great for all of it. All right, next up is Simplicity Pattern 8830. This is another Mimi G pattern. This one is a bit older, and I was really surprised that it still fit. This is a button down, again, Simplicity 8830. Y'all, I made this at the height of the COVID pandemic. I mean, I made this, I want to say it was April or May of 2020. Like, and I remember that I made this because let me tell you how indelible in my mind this is. That fabric is from Hobby Lobby. And I found out that morning that my position at the job I had at the time was getting furloughed, right? And I said to myself, just go to the fabric store and cheer yourself up. Buy whatever you want because clearly you're going to have the time to sew it. And I did just that. And that was one of the pieces of fabric that I bought. And then about a month later, I went, because I had nothing but time, right? So I went and stayed with Joe because at this point we were a long distance couple. I went and stayed with Joe for a month and I brought my sewing machine. And this was one of the patterns I made in his apartment. Y'all, when I tell you that apartment was like 500 square feet. And for him to let me bring my sewing machine and all of my stuff and Nala, we didn't have Blue at the time, and Nala, he loved me. He loved me. And I love him too. But that is how indelible in my mind making that shirt and just all of the things that were just happening at that point in time, right? That's just it just took me right back when I put it on. I was like, man, like I haven't seen this shirt in a while, but this is what happened when I made this shirt. But it's a great shirt. It has definitely stood the test of time. And I love that it's just like classic stripes, like, and it works. I wore these ready to wear, kind of like pixie or skinny trousers and my espadrilles that day. And it just works. It's easy. It's classic. It's Americano, however you want to call it. But yeah, it just works. All right. Next up, McCall's 7931. This is a slip skirt that I made last November. I remember this as well because I made this skirt in a frame of time where I was just like on a mission. I was just making stuff back to back to back. So this was one of the things that I made back to back. I love this skirt. The hem is like slightly uneven on the skirt, but that's because I know that and I'm looking at it and I can see that. But I think if you guys saw me walking down the street, I don't think you guys would notice. But this is cut on the bias. And I did let it hang before I cut it and before I hemmed it and all that stuff. But I mean, it's cut on the bias. Stuff like that happens. But I still wore it to work. I still looked cute. It's got that little slit on the side that's kind of flirty and whatnot. And it's also, y'all, it's really comfortable. And then this was also the day that after work, I went to Joe's job because he was anchoring the 4 p.m. news, which is an anomaly in itself because he's normally on in the mornings. But I went there to get some B-roll of him and whatnot. And yeah, like it was just a really comfortable skirt that really took me from A to Z that day, all the way into Zumba that evening. I didn't dance with that skirt on, but I changed out of it and put on my Zumba clothes later. All right, and then last but not least is Nomi pattern 2016, which you all know and love, and the feeling is mutual. I made this just this past summer, to be honest with you. Now, I did make my first one last November, which was all black. You guys remember that. This one is all white. The sleeves are poofier. It's just like princess vibes. Like I wore this to work. And then I had gone like out afterwards, and like it's almost like when little kids see me with that on, I think they think I'm like a little Disney princess, or maybe I'm like in a costume. I don't know. But I get a lot of like looks and stares and points from little kids, and maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. I'm not sure. But this is a very popular dress with the adults, might be with the kids too. I don't know. But this is also really comfortable. It's a full skirt. I love that. You know, I have a thing about puffy sleeves. Puffy sleeves, in my opinion, and it might be true somewhere, puffy sleeves make your waist look smaller. And so for that, I love me a puffy sleeve. Like I will never turn down a puffy sleeve in a dress at all. All right, you guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Now stay tuned. I will be continuing this series, and don't forget to comment below which outfit was your favorite. I will see y'all next time. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Bye.